Hello everyone. In this video, we will be going over the questions that came in the CAT 2024 slot one section. So let's go to the first question. So this one saying when 10 raised to the power 100 is divided by 7, you find the remainder. So without getting into Euler's theorem and other stuff, so let's do it the simple way. 10 divided by 7, we know the remainder is 3. So 10 raised to the power 100, the remainder will be just 3 raised to the power 100, which is a big number again. So we'll have to split it further in order to check the actual remainder. So we split 3 cube to the power 33. Why? Because 27 by 7 leaves remainder 1, minus 1. Okay, so 3 cube raised to the power 33 and 1 3 is still left. So that makes it 100. So we have minus 1 to the power 33. So that is negative 3. Now negative 3 remainder means it's 3 short of a multiple of 7. So the actual remainder would be, we'll add a 7. So that gets us the remainder to be 4. That's the third option. Next. It says two places A and B are 45 kilometers apart. And this is A, this is B. Anil covers from A to B, and Sunil, the other guy, goes from B to A. They meet in 1 hour 30 minutes. So that is 1.5 hours, 3 by 2 hours. Then it says if Anil reaches B 1 hour 15 minutes after Sunil. So if Sunil has taken T hours for this, then Anil has taken T plus 15 minutes is 1/4. So 1/4 means 5 by 4 hours. So we know the property that the product of these two times is square of this. This multiplied with t should be 3 over 2 squared. So multiplying throughout by 4, we get 9. Simplifying further, 4t squared plus 5 by 4 times 4t. So that is plus 5t minus 9 is 0. So this can be split further as t minus 1 times 4t plus 9. We'll get 4t squared minus 4t plus 9t as plus 5t and minus 9. Obviously, t cannot be negative, so t must be 1. So if you want to find the speed of Anil, so time taken by Anil, we'll figure out. So initial 3 by 2 hours plus 1 plus 5 by 4. So that basically gives us 6 by 4 plus 9 by 4. So 15 by 4 hours. So speed of Anil is 45 divided by 15 by 4. That comes to 12 kilometers per hour. All right, let's go to the next question. So they're saying 4 numbers, the average of the first two. Let's take A, B, C, D as the numbers. So A plus B by 2 is 1 more than A. That simplifies to first equation. Second one says the average of the first 3 numbers is 2 more than average of the first 2 numbers. So multiply throughout by 6. So 6 over 3 is 2. So you get 2A plus 2B plus 2C equals 12 plus 3 times A plus B. From here we get 2C equals 12 uh, yeah. So 2C equals 12 minus 2A minus 2B. Now if I replace that B equal to A plus 2, so that becomes 12 minus 2A minus 2A minus 4. So if I divide by we divide by 2, it becomes, so this is 8 minus 4A. Sorry, this would be Here we have a plus 3a plus 3b as well, right? Sorry. And then we will have, so 2c equals 12 plus a plus b. Sorry, we had these two also. I missed that. Yeah. And then we replace b as a plus 2. So this becomes 12 plus 2a plus 2. So it becomes 14 plus 2a. So that's 2c. So c becomes a plus 7. So that's the second. Finally, we have the average of the first four numbers. A plus b plus c plus d over 4 is 3 plus a plus b plus c over 3. Right, so multiply by 12. 3a plus 3b plus 3c plus 3d equals 36 plus 4a plus 4b plus 4c. So that gets us 3d equals 36 plus a plus b plus c. Now if I replace b and c, that is 36 plus a plus 2 plus a plus 7. So we get 3d equals 36 plus 9. So that is 45 plus, there is a as well, right? Plus 3a. So dividing by 3, d equals 15 plus a. So they had basically asked us difference between the largest and the smallest. Clearly, d is the largest and a obviously is the smallest. So the difference is 15. So the answer is 15. Let's go to the next one. Sum of all four-digit numbers that can be formed. So A, B, C, and D. So they are non-zero. So starting with A, then A in the hundreds place, tens place, and units place. So how many numbers will we get with A in the thousands place? 3 factorial numbers. So 6 numbers, each of the values being thousands place. Here it would be 6 numbers again, but each of the values having the hundreds position, right? This is 100. Then you will have 6 numbers again, each of the numbers having tens place. And finally, 6 numbers again, each of the values having units place or the ones place. So sum of all of these positional values of A, if I just look at A, is going to be 6 common 1, 1, 1, 1 times A. Now, if this is the case for A, exactly the same scenario will happen for B, C, and D. So the sum of all the numbers, we are going to basically use the positional value summation instead of actually adding them up. So the positional value summation for A's and B's and C's and D's will be 6, 6, 6, 6, A plus B plus C plus D. And now they are saying that this is actually 153310 plus n, where n is a single digit number. So that means n could be anything from 1 to 9. And after adding that, the result will be divisible by 6666. So let us divide 153310 by 6666 and calculate the remainder. So it will go 2 times. And this time it would go 3 times, leaving a remainder 2. That means if my n were 2, then this will become a multiple of 6666. So clearly one we have got n is 2. Now we from here can conclude that after it is 2, then A plus B plus C plus D therefore must have been 23 here. No, sorry. The remainder is 2, right? So that means I need a number value for n such that after adding, this whole thing will be divisible by 6666. All right. Sorry, remainder is not 2. Sorry. This will go actually 3 times would take it very close to it will exceed. Okay, it has exceeded 19998. Okay, so that means here if I take it 23 times, I am getting 8 excess. Okay, remainder is -8, which basically would imply that I'm not able to do it 23 times. So I'm going to do it 22 times and again get 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, and then going to get a big remainder. Okay. So that remainder, so let us actually divide it. Let's see how much is the remainder. So that would be 6658. So when I'm getting a 6658 as remainder, that means the difference between the two is at 8. So that means here instead of 0, if I had 8, that means then the next multiple would have been divisible. Okay. So here my remainder is 6658. The difference between 6666 and 6658 is 8 if I subtract. So that means to get the next multiple, I would have just added that difference 8 here. And then, as we already saw, if this would have become 8, then it would have gone 3 times. So that means I have to add n as 8 here. Only then 153318 would become divisible by 6666. And after that, so n is 8. Sorry, I had mistakenly written as 2. And then ABCD would have become a multiple of, like a factor of 153318 when divided by 6666, which gave us 23. So ABCD must have been 23. So even though we don't know what they individually are, but we know their sum. They are asking us the value of all of these. So the value of all of these will be 31. So the answer is 31. All right, let's go to the next question. It says KAV are in the ratio 865. So let's take 800, 600, 500. They rent a house, K pays 15% of their respective income. So 15% of 800. So 10% will be 80, 5% will be 40. So 120. 12%. So 10% is 60, 2% is 12. So, and 18% of 500. So that would be 90. Okay. 20% is 100 and 2% is 10. So 100 minus 10, 90. So this is the rent that they have paid. Now they are saying in October, the house rent remains the same while their incomes increase. So their income has now become 880, 12% increase. So 672 and 15% increase. So 575. So they're saying in October, the income will be percentage of the total income, that will be the house rent. So the rent total is how much? Let us first add that. The 90 and 120 is 210. 210 plus 72. So that will be 282. The total income here would be 880 and 672 is 1552. And then we have got a 575. So that is 7212, 2127. So we need to figure out 282 divided by 2127 times 100 is approximately how much? Okay, we have the options here. So 10% would have taken us 212.7, so around 213. That would leave you with a 282 minus 213, so 69. So we need 69 more. If you look 3%, 1% would be 21 around. So 3% would be around 63. So we'll need still a little bit more. So slightly more than 13%. So first option. Okay. Slightly more than 13%. In this case, that's the first option. Let's go to the next question. So 10,000 is deposit bank A for a certain number of years, a simple interest of 5%. On maturity, the thing is deposited in another bank B for 5 years at a simple interest of 6%. So 10,000, 5%, T years. Okay. The total amount is in bank B 6% for 5 years, whatever this amount is. So interest ratio is 10 is to 13. Interest received from bank A and B are in the ratio 10 is to 13. So you have to figure out what is the time. So here, after investment, the total amount would become what? 5% of this would be 500. That is for each year. For T years, it would be 500 T. So it would be plus 500 T. That will be the total value of the investment. So the interest here is 500 T. That's the amount. That's the interest. And then this investment here is basically this entire amount. 6% for 5 years effectively gives us 30%. So your interest here would be 30% of 10,000. So that is 3,000 plus 30% of 500 would be 150 T. That will be the interest. And they have said that this is in the ratio 10 is to 13. So if I solve that, so we get 500 T equals 3,000. So T will be 6. So that's the second option. Okay, let's go to the next question. So here it says this equation, and this equation have a common negative root. So there is a common root. You have to figure out the value of 2m plus 3n. So clearly, the roots, if you factorize, will definitely be in the form x minus r1 times x minus r2 for each of the cases. And somewhere you will see one of these coming common. So if I, let's say, take the other case as x minus r1 times x minus r3, and here x minus r1 times x minus r4. So r1 is our common root. Okay. So you have to figure out what is that common root over here. So if I were to, let's say, add up these two equations, we would get 2x squared plus m plus n x equal to minus 26. And here we would have x squared plus m plus n x equal to minus 35. Now, if I subtract them, we'll get x squared equal to 9. So x will be 3 or negative 3. Now, the fact that it says that here x is the root, that is the common root, right? So, since it's saying a negative root, so it must be negative 3 as the common root. So, if I plug in negative 3 in the first one, so this will give us 9 minus 3m plus 9 equal to 0. So that will give us m as 6. And here 9 minus 3n plus 17 equal to 0. That will give us 3n equal to 26. So n will be 26 by 3. So 2m plus 3n, 2m will be 12 and 3n will be 26. So the result will be 38. So that is our answer, 38. Let's go to the next question. X is a positive real number such that 4 log this is 13. Okay, so 4 times log of x base 10. 100 is 10 squared, so it will become 4 by 2 log x base 10. And 1000 is 10 cubed, so it will become 8 by 3 log x base 10. So that becomes log of x base 10, 4 plus 2 plus, that is 6. 6 plus 8 by 3. 26 by 3 is 13. So from here, log of x base 10 will become, so x will become 10 to the power 3 by 2. So that is square root of 10 cube. Now 10 cube is 100 times 10. And we have to take square root of that. So 10 goes out and root 10 will come. Root 10 is clearly greater than 3. So this is, x is greater than 30 point something. In fact, 31 point something, because root over 10 is greater than 3.1. 3.1 square is 9.61 and it's 10 here. So it is, root over 10 is 3.1 something. So that means 10 times root over 10 would be 3.1 times 10. So that would become 31 point something. So x would be greater than 31 point something. They are saying the greatest integer not exceeding x means we need to remain less than 31 point something. Okay. So the value would be, so we can just write it as x is equal to 31 point something. So the required answer is 31. That's our answer. Let's go to the next question. So x, y, z be real numbers satisfying this and this. You have to figure out the value of a. So let's say, let's try and add them. So what do we get? 4x squared plus 4y squared plus 4z squared plus 4x minus 4y minus 4z equals a plus 3 plus a. You're trying to get a whole square form. Okay. Now this is 2x whole squared, 2y whole squared, 2z whole squared. Now if I want to get them in a square form, so we know the formula p plus q plus r whole squared would be p squared, q squared, r squared, 2pq, 2pr, and 2qr. So if I want to do the same thing here, I should have had 2 times 2x times 2y. But that would be 8. But I only have 4. So what I have to do is I have to double this. So if I double this, this will become 8 times and this will become 6 plus 2a. So I'll have 8x, 8y, 8z. And on this side, I will have a plus 6 plus 2a. That will now give me this. 8x is matching. Okay. No, I have 8xy, sorry. So I'll try to make individual squares. So this is not xy combination, right? It's a single x, single y, single z. My bad, sorry. So here what we will do is, so this is same 2x squared, 2y squared, 2z squared. Now here, if I try to do, let's say, a plus 1 whole square, then I'm going to get a squared plus 2a plus 1. So if I had 2a plus 1 whole square, I will get 2a whole square. So that will be 4a squared. And then I will get 4a plus 1. 4a squared and 4a. So you have 4x squared and 4x. So that is matching. So here we will have 2x plus 1 whole square. That will give me 2x squared plus 2 times 2x, 4x plus 1. Okay. Now, since I am adding 1 plus 1 plus 1 on this side to complete the squares, right? So I have added 3. I must add 3 on that side also. So it was already 2a plus 3. I'll add another 3. Okay. So now I have 2x plus 1 whole square. Now 2y plus 1 whole square will give me, if I had put plus, then it would have been 4y squared plus 4y plus 1, but I need minus 4y. So I'll keep this, and here also I'll do 2z minus 1 whole square. So I'll get 4x minus 4y minus 4z plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 and all of this. And that will be 2a plus 6. Okay. So sum of three squares is 2a plus 6. Okay. Let us try to do something else. It's not working out this way. So we are trying to do a case where we have a square term which adds up to 0, kind of like that, so that we can solve for the values. So instead of adding, if I had subtracted, I would have got minus 4x plus 4y plus 4z would be minus 3. The a would have cancelled out. Now this one will work. Now to continuing the same method, so 4x squared is basically 2x whole squared, 2y whole squared, 2z whole squared, minus 2 times 2x times 1 plus 2 times 2y times 1 plus 2 times 2z times 1. And to complete the square, I need plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So minus 3 plus 3. Now see what we get. We have 2x, this, and this. So that is 2x minus 1 squared. Similarly, 2y plus 1 squared and 2z plus 1 squared is 0. Sum of the squares is 0 means each of them are 0. So x will come out to be half because 2x minus 1 will be 0. Y will be minus half and z will also be minus half. Now just plug them in one of the two equations, we'll get the answer. So from the first equation, I'll get 4 times x squared plus y squared plus z squared will come out to be 3. So that is our a. So the value of a is 3. Okay, so this was the logic here. Let's go on to the next question. So these are the questions I'm seeing for the first time because my slot was the second slot. So I'm doing these for the first time. So this is how I would have actually done in the test. I'll make some mistakes. I'll correct them while solving. Okay, so like that. Let's go to the next question. So the area of the region divided by the inequality. So let's draw quickly. Y is equal to x plus 4. So y equal to x plus 4 would look like this. The y-intercept is 4. And y is greater than, so we need to shade the region above this. So we'll need to go above. Then x squared plus y squared. So we have the next one, x squared plus y squared plus 4 times x minus y. So this, if I put equal to 0, I'll try to convert this to a equation of a circle. Okay. So we'll do the shading later. So this one now is x plus 2 whole square to get x squared plus 4y, 4x. And y minus 2 whole square will get y squared minus 4y. I'll get plus 8. To cancel that, I'll have minus 8. Okay. So if I replace this and write this 0 and minus 4, adding 8 throughout. So we have a center, x is 2, y is minus 2. X is 2, y is minus 2, sorry. Here. No, sorry. X is minus 2. Yeah, I was doing it right. X is minus 2. So x plus 2 means x is minus 2. Y minus 2 means y is plus 2. So this is the center. Okay. And we have 2 square. So that means we have one circle with radius. So what is this length? Let's figure that out. So this is 4 units, 4 units. So this is 4 root 2. So the radius is 2 root 2. Right? So if I, let's say, draw the line a little bigger. So this is -4, this is 4, that's the center, which coordinates are -2, 2. The first circle, which has a radius of 2, will be like this. And the other one, which has a radius of 2 root 2, because 8 is 2 root 2 whole square. So with a 2 root 2, the other circle will be like this. Because this length is 4 root over 2, so the radius is 2 root 2. This is 2 root 2, this is 2 root 2, and this will also be 2 root 2. Okay. So now your circle is greater than 4, means outside this but inside this. So you have to basically find this area, but then it has to remain above this line. So basically it is just this portion. So it is the difference between the two semicircles. So you can just take the areas of the two circles and divide by 2. So the outer circle area is pi times r. So r is 2 root 2 squared. The inner circle has radius 2 minus pi times 2 square divided by 2. So this is 8 and this is 4. So 4 pi by 2. So that is 2 pi. That is the second option. Let's go to the next one. A glass is filled with milk. 2/3 of its content are poured out and replaced with water, and this process is continued. So that means every time if I work with the milk, starts with 1 and then 2/3 is removed, so it becomes 1/3. Filled with water, it becomes 1. Then again 2/3 of this is removed, so it becomes 1/3 again. And every time you are adding water, so milk is not getting added. So this is repeated 3 more times, means total 4 times. So milk now becomes 1 by 81. So that means water must have been 80 over 81. So they are asking the ratio of milk to water. So 1 is to 80 is the second option. Let's go to the next question. 2 sets. A is this and B is this. And let's F be a function from A to B such that for every element B, there is at least one element in A. So the total number of functions that we will have so from A to B, so that for every element in B, there is at least one element in A. So you can have like this mapping also. So that means both 2 and 3 relate to 1, then 5 relates to 8, then 7, 27, 11, and 13 all relate to 27 like this. So this could be one function. So like this, you have to figure out how many functions can you have. Okay. You have to ensure that it should not happen that all of them are linked to only one item. Okay. So if I do the normal way, each of these 6 terms has 3 options. So you can link this to any of the 3. You can link this to any of the 3 and so on. So if that be the case, so this has 3 options. The second has 3 options. Like that, we will do 6 times. That will give you 3 to the power 6. That is 729 options. But then there would be cases where all of them go to the same. So let's take the cases where only 2 of them are used. And this one remains unassigned. How many such cases can you have? So you can either be assigned to 1 and 8 or 1 and 27 or 8 and 27. So there are 3 cases. Okay. Basically, out of these 3, any 2 are being used. And each of these 6 now are linked to those 2. So we'll have 2 times 2, 6 times. So that is 3 times 2 to the power 6. 64 times 3, 192. Okay. These 192 cases have to be removed. But here there is a problem. In some of these cases, what would happen is all of them will get linked to only one time as well. One term, only one term. So those are already included here. So let's figure out where exactly two of them are used. Okay, exactly two are used. So when we do this, minus, there will be a case. So let's say we are doing for these two, okay, and we are trying to link. So these 6 items, this is not there. So we see 2 to the power 6 here, 2 to the power 6. Out of these, there will be one case where all of them go to 1, and there will be one more case where all of them go to 8. So there are two such cases. We'll remove that. Okay. So this gives us 3 times 2 to the power 6 is 64 minus 2, 62. So 186 cases. So where 2 are used, we'll remove them. And where only 1 is used, that means 2 of them are empty. Okay. So let us say we have only used 1. So all of them are linked to 1. So that's one case. Then all of them could be linked to 8. That's another case. And then all of them could be linked to 27. That's another case. So there are 3 more cases which we need to remove. The other 2 are empty. Okay. They are not assigned. So how many cases do we need to remove? Total 189 cases have to be removed. So your answer is 729 total minus 189. So that will give you 540 possible scenarios. So 540 functions, second option. Let's go to the next one. The area of the closed rectangular box, which is inscribed in a sphere. So that means if you look, the body diagonal of the rectangular box will be the diameter of the sphere. So the body diagonal is length square plus width square plus height square, square root. Okay. This is the body diagonal, will be the radius, 2 times the radius of the sphere. Okay, that's point number 1. Now, what is given here? The surface area. So surface area will be 2 times length width height, length height. Okay, because there will be 6 faces, 2 times length width, 2 times width height, 2 times length height. That is your 846. And sum of the edges is 144. So now if you look at this edge will come 4 times. Every edge will come 4 times. So we have 4 times. So that means we have length plus width plus height to be 36. So the volume of the sphere we want. So we need to figure out volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So we need to first figure out what is r. Okay. And then we'll plug in. So as you can see here, r squared is basically L squared plus W squared plus H squared by 4. If I can find this out, we'll figure it out. How do you find that out? We'll use this and this to find out. So L plus W plus H whole squared, we know is L squared plus W squared plus H squared plus 2 times length width height, height length. So this is 36 squared is L squared plus W squared plus H squared plus 846. And 36 squared is 1296. So from here, we get L squared plus W squared plus H squared to be 450. So R squared will become 450 divided by 4 from this. So that is 225 by 2. And R will therefore become 15 by root over 2. Once we know the radius, so the volume is 4 by 3 pi times 15 times 15 times 15 by root 2 times root 2 times root 2. Root 2 times root 2 is 2, so that cancels out 1. And 3 cancels out a 5. So 15 fives are 225, 225, and a root 2, and this 2 will also cancel. So 15 fives are 225. 225 times 5 would be 1125 root 2 5. So that is the first option. Let's go to the next one. The selling price is fixed to ensure 40% profit. So if the cost price were 100, the selling price means 140. If the product has got 40% less, that means it's saying if it were 60, okay, then the profit would have been 50%. That means with a 50% profit, the selling price should have become 90. The difference between the two, 40 and 90, is 50. But that is actually said to be at exactly 5 rupees. So this is 5. So that means we have to scale down by 10. Scale down is divide by 10. So if 50 is 5, then 140 will be 14, 90 will be 9, 60 will be 6, and 100 will be 10. So they're saying the original selling price was how much? So the original selling price was 14. That is the fourth option. Let's go to the next one. A shop wants to sell certain quantity of grains. It sells half the quantity and 3 more to the first. Then it sells half and 3 more to the second. And then it sells half and 3 more to the third. And then there's nothing left. So if I go with the third customer, before the third customer comes, you have X kg grains. So you give away half and 3 more. So you're left with this. So X kg is when the third customer has come. Okay. So from there, you are dividing the X by 2, giving away X by 2 kg, half of the remaining, and additional 3. So this is what you are giving. So you're left with what? This. But this they're saying is 0. That means X must have been 6. And we can continue like this for 2 other customers. Alternatively, we could have said to start with 0. Why? Because you gave away 3 kg. Had you not given that, you would have 3 kgs with you. But why have you got 3 kgs left? Because you gave away half. If you give away half, then you are left with half. So that means the total must have been 2 times of this 6 kg. So you got 6 matching. Okay. Now, why are you left with 6? Because you gave away 3. So had you not given the 3, you would have this much. And you are now left with this much because you gave away half. So you're left with this as the other half. So you initially had twice of this. And for the last customer, you again gave away 3. So you had not given, then you would have got this. And you would have done 2 times of that. And this would have been your starting value. So how much is that? So this is 3 to the 6 plus 3 is 9. So here we have 9. 9 to the 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. 21 to the 42. So you had 42 kgs initially. So that's the first option. Let's go on to the next. A plus b root n is the square root of this. So let's try to take the square root. Okay, and then we'll figure out. Rather than squaring, let's take the square root. So we need a plus a squared b squared 2ab. 2ab must come from this root form because there is a surd involved, and therefore when you have the 2ab term, the surd will not get squared. It will remain in the root 5 form. When you square it, the 29 must have come from these 2 parts. Okay. So let's split that 12 root 5. So 2 times 6 root 5. Now if I write it as 6 and root 5, then 36 and 5 will come as a square. This is a and b. Okay. So 36 and 5 is 41, not 29. So that's not the correct way of splitting. So we can't do 6 and root 5. So maybe we can try with 3 and 2 root 5. That's your a and that's your b. Now if I square them 9 and 20, that's gives us 29. So the split is 3 and 2 root 5. Now 2 root over 5, if you look, is Root 5 is greater than 2. So this is greater than 4. So 3 is the smaller quantity. 2 root 5 is bigger. So when you are taking the square root, it must be a positive square root. So 29 minus 12 root 5, you must write it as 2 root 5 minus 3 whole square, not the other way around. So now you will have 20 minus 12 root 5. So the square root of this will therefore be a plus b root n is minus 3 plus 2 root over 5, where a and b are natural numbers, n is a natural number. So a is negative 3, b is 2, and n here is 5. So that could be a possibility. Alternatively, we can also try and clubbing them. So a is negative 3, and then this b root n, which is 2 root 5, I can put entirely inside the surd. So we can write it as minus 3 plus root over 20. So then b becomes 1 and n becomes 20. Now, obviously, they are saying maximum possible. So obviously here we have a bigger number. So this will be the maximum possible. So 21 minus 3 will be 18, and that is the maximum possible value. So option B. Let's go to the next one. The ABCD is a rectangle. So that's 56, that's 45. E is the midpoint of CD. So that's 28 each. Then the length of the radius of triangle ADE. So we are drawing a circle inside in radius, in circle. So for this triangle ADE, what is the radius? So if you look at AE, so let's use Pythagoras theorem. (45 square plus 28 square). So 45 square is 2025 and 28 square is 784. So that will give us 2809, and square root of 809 would be 53 most likely. Let us just check that. Yeah, because this is greater than 2500. That means it's greater than 50. So greater than 50, we need something which ends in a 9. So 53 squared would have done it. 57 would have also done it, but that's too large. So that is 53. So now, if this is R, so this would be R as well. This is R as well. So this would be 45 minus R, and this would be 28 minus R. So from the same point, tangents are equal to this is 28 minus R, and that's 45 minus R. So these two together must be equal to that 53, the hypotenuse. So 45 plus 28, 73 minus 2R is 53. So 2R is 20, R is 10. So that's the radius. Let's go to the next one. A fruit seller has 187 fruits containing apples, mangoes, and oranges. The number of apples are at the ratio 5:2. So let's take 5x to x. And then you sell 75 apples, 26 mangoes, and half of the oranges. So if I take oranges to be 2y, then you sell y. The ratio of unsold apples. So 5x minus 75 to the unsold oranges, which is y, is 3/2. So from here we get 10x minus 150 is 3y. So the total number of unsold fruits. So y here is 10x minus 150 by 3. So 2y would be 20x minus 300 by 3. We have got 2y and we have got these two also. So substituting 7x plus 20x minus 300 by 3 is 187. 21. So we'll get 41x minus 300 equal to, so 41x will be 961. So here once again, let me just check the calculation. 5x and 2x. I've taken oranges to be 2y. Then 75 and 26. And half of the oranges. So y. The number of unsold apples is 5x minus 75. The number of unsold oranges, so that is y, is 3 by 2. So we will have y equals 10x minus 150 by 3. So 2 times y, that's oranges, would be 20x minus 300 by 3. And the total number of fruits is 187. So that's 7x plus 2y. Oh, sorry, this is 861. Yeah, that's what. 300 plus 500, 61 is 861. So x will come out to, if I divide it, 41 will go 2 times. So that will be 820. So another 41 will come. So 21. X is 21. Sorry for the calculation. So X is 21. So they are saying total number of unsold fruits. So if I get that X as 21, my Y would be 10X. So that is 210 minus 150, 60. 60 by 3 is 20. So 5X would be 105. 2X would be 42. And 2Y would be 40. So these are the fruits. Unsold fruits 105 minus 75, 30. 42 minus 26, 16, and 40 half, 20. That's unsold. So that's 36 plus 30, 66. Unsold fruits are there. That's a. Let's go to the next question. The sum of all real values of k for which this holds. So this one would be if I group the common terms together. So that's what we will get. So the 1 by 8 comes this side, this comes this side. Okay. From here we can write 1 over 8 to the power k minus 1 is this 1 over 3, 2, 7, 6, 8 to the power 1 by k minus 1 by 3. Now you have to get them in the same base. One thing we can do is take reciprocal on both sides. So this will become slightly easier to handle. 8 to the power k minus 1 is 3, 2, 7, 6, 8 whole to the power 1 by 3 minus 1 by, sorry, 1 by k minus 1 by 3. Okay. So now 32768 will factorize. So we know 8 powers, 8, 64, 512. Now if I multiply with 8 again, 4096, and then multiply with 8. So this is 8, 8 squared, 8 cubed, 8 to the power 4, and another 8 if I multiply. So this is 8 to the power 5. So the equation now changes to this. Now equating the powers. So simplifying further, this is 3 minus k by 3k. So we'll form the quadratic now, goes that side. 3k squared minus 3k equal to 15 minus 5k. So 3k squared plus 2k minus 15 is 0. They're asking the sum of all real values of k. So clearly b squared minus 4ac is here positive. So that means the k values are all real. They're saying sum of the real values of k. K1 and k2 are the roots. Will be minus b by a, so minus 2 by 3. That's all. We don't need to factorize this as such. So the second option. Let's go to the next one. So they are in AP. X5 is minus 4. So we can write X5 to be X1 plus 4D. Okay. The first term plus 4D. X6 to be X1 plus 5D. X9 to be X1 plus 8D. X11 to be X1 plus 10D. And X13 to be X1 plus 12D. And then substitute. So we are going to get X5 is minus 4. So X1 plus 4D is minus 4. Let's leave that. Twice of X6, so 2 times X1 plus 10D plus 2 times X1 plus 16D is X11 plus X13. So that is 2 times X1 plus 22D. 2X1 cancels out. So we have got 2X1 plus 26D minus 22D is 0. So 2X1 plus 4D, or we'll write it like this. 2X1 is equal to minus 4D. So X1 is minus 2D. Now we have X1 is minus 2D. So from here we get minus 2D plus 4D. So 2D equal to minus 4. So D equal to minus 2. And X1 therefore is minus 2 times minus 2, 4. So X100 therefore, that's what we need. So X100 would be X1 plus 99D. So that is 4 minus 198. So that is minus 194. So the second option. Let's go to the next one. As an alternative, what we can also do is, so this is one way of doing it. Then another way we can do. See, X11 plus X13 is 2 times X12, right? So we'll replace, divide by 2. X6 plus X9 is X12. X6 is X1 plus 5D. X1 plus 8D is X1 plus 11D. So X1 comes out to be minus 2D. So this was faster. Okay. And then the rest is the same. All right, let's go to the next one. Renu is taking 15 days, working 4 hours per day to complete a task. Okay. Seema takes 8 days. So Renu takes 60 hours and Seema takes 40 hours for the same task. So the rate of working for Renu and Seema, so the LCM will take the work to be, let's say 120 units. So Renu's rate is 2 units per hour and Seema's rate is 3 units per hour. And they decide to work together to complete. Seema agrees to work for double the number of hours per day as Renu. So Seema agrees to work for, so let us assume that Renu works X hours per day, while Renu agrees to work for double the number of days as Seema. So, okay, Renu works 2 hours per day is given. So Seema works for double the number of hours, so 4 hours per day. And Renu agrees to work for double the number of days as Seema. So let us say Seema works for n days. Then Renu will work for 2 n days. So that means Renu is going to work for 4 n hours and Seema will work also for 4 n hours. So in 4 n hours, Renu will complete 4 n times 2 and this will complete 4 n times 3. That should be 120. So 20 n is 120, n is 6. So the question is asking the number of days that Seema will work, n days. So that is 6. So 6 is the answer. Let's go to the next one. For any natural number, let an be the largest number not exceeding root n. Okay. So for example, a1 would be less than or equal to, or a1 will be the largest integer. So in this case, will be 1. For a2, it will be root 2, which is we know 1.41. And we need a2 to be the largest integer not exceeding 1.414. So that means this will also be 1 because 2 will exceed. A3 will be less than 2, right? So it will also be 1. A4 will become, and that will become 2. So whenever you have a square root, it will become that value till the next square root arrives. Okay. So if I, let's say, write down the numbers. So 1, then 4, then 9. So 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, 7 square, 8 square. So you have got 50 people. So the first one, second one, and the third one will be 1. The fourth one will become 2. Fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and then the ninth one will become 3. Okay. And in this way, the values will continue. So how many times will you have 1? 3 times. How many times will we have 2? 5 times. Because less than 9, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 numbers will have. How many times will we have 3? 7 times. Because 16 to 9. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of them will have all 3 values. And then it will be 4. How many times will we get 4? 25 minus 16 is 9. 9 times we will have 4. Then next will come 5, which will be 11 times. 36 minus 25. Then next it will come as 6, which will go 13 times. 49 minus 36 is 39. Is 13, sorry. For 49th one, it will become 7. For the 50th one, it is still 7 point something. So that will also be 7. And then we stop. So the sum is, in this case, so 1 times 3, we have 3 plus 10 plus 21 plus 36 plus 55 plus 78 plus 14. And that adds up to, let's add up. So 13 plus 21 is 34. 34 plus 36 is 70. 70 plus 55 is 125. On this side, you have 92. So 217 is the answer. So I hope all the questions were clear. Thanks for watching.